Alright guys, so every now and then a totally new conversion mod in Total War comes along that makes you stop and think, wait, this looks absolutely unreal. That's exactly the feeling that I get with the new Rise of Empires Total War for Shogun 2 that is now available for closed beta testing. This is an overhaul that doesn't just add some new factions or tweak a few mechanics, it picks up Shogun 2, lifts it straight out of Japan, and drops it into 18th century Europe. We're talking 1700 to 1721, the age of the War of the Spanish Succession and the Great Northern War, all on a massive custom-built map of Europe that stretches from Britain to India. And somehow, even in early beta, it feels like a completely different game. In this video, I'll be showing you exactly why Rise of Empires might just be one of the greatest mods ever in the making, and by the end, I guarantee you'll want to check it out for yourself in the current closed beta. So diving straight into the campaign, this is the main event. I've had access for a few weeks now, and I have to say, it is so impressive to finally be able to play it properly on this fantastic campaign. For years, players have tossed around the idea of taking Shogun 2's rock-solid, polished engine and give it a proper European setting, and that has finally been achieved on one of the most stable and visually consistent Total War engines. The reimagining here of Shogun 2 into this map and this setting that shaped modern Europe is just breathtaking, and more so, to be able to play it right now is just absolutely awesome. Instead of the islands of Japan, we now get a painstakingly rebuilt old world map that represents Europe at the dawn of the 18th century. And when I say rebuilt, I don't mean a flat background with a handful of scattered provinces. This is a fully realized, living, massive map that captures the political geography of the time with a level of detail and personality you'd normally expect from an official Total War release. Zoom in far enough and you'll see forests stretching across Scandinavia, the patchwork fields of Saxony, the wide marshlands of Poland, and the endless frozen expanses of Russia. Each region has been tailored to reflect not just geography but atmosphere, and it feels like stepping into a totally new age. Especially with a more filled out campaign map now, as we've got dozens of factions, each alive with an AI that engages each other and the world, whether it's Great Britain or the Ottomans or the Russians, with unique cities, army generals, beautiful mountains and rivers in between. It all just honestly feels a bit like a dream come true. And what makes this even more striking is how well Shogun 2 actually plays with this. On paper, you'd think this kind of European overhaul would sit more naturally in Empire or Napoleon, but in practice, Shogun 2's terrain rendering, its smoother campaign mechanics, and its stronger engine stability actually elevates the experience. The difference here is night and day. Where Empire's map often looks sparse or flat, Rise of Empires fills the screen with rolling hills, textured coastlines, dense forests, and natural barriers that actually affect strategy. Marching an army across this map doesn't feel abstract or symbolic, it feels deliberate, with terrain shaping your decisions every step of the way. You can't just march blindly forward. Rivers, choke points, and mountain passes all demand attention. At this stage of campaign development, Russia and Sweden are the most fleshed out factions here, and they're the ones that I've been playing with so far. You can't really engage too much with all the other factions on the map at the moment, but you can essentially access and play the Great Northern War, which has been amazing. Locked in this war, these two powers embody the clash of old and new in early modern Europe. On the Swedish side, you've got the disciplined Carolean armies under Charles XII, one of the most famous warrior kings of the era. Opposite them, Russia under Peter the Great offers something very different, a state in the middle of rapid modernization, trying to transform itself into a true European power. Both factions feel distinct, both bring their own challenges, and both anchor you firmly in the historical context. It's not just these two though. Other powers like Saxony, Denmark, and Poland are already integrated into the map and very active as well. Their presence helps flesh out the balance of power, giving shape to the early campaign and hinting at the grander scope the mod is clearly building towards. Even in this limited form, you get a sense of how wide-reaching this project wants to be. Plenty of other factions around, but but they're not quite developed as of yet. But in the next few updates, more and more will be polished and unlocked to be played by the player. The developers also recommend settings that really bring the experience to life. So on the campaign side of things, they do suggest you should play on hard or very hard, with battles likewise set to hard or very hard as well. And if you enable battle realism mode, you'll squeeze even more out of it. These aren't arbitrary suggestions either. They line up with the slower, more deliberate pacing of Rise of Empires, where resource management and positioning matter more than rushing armies across the map. It's about patience, planning, and execution, not quick wins. Overall, though, on the campaign, I've really enjoyed my time here. What stands out is this sense of possibility. This is the first time we've ever seen Europe truly realized in the Shogun 2 engine, and it's already clear how much it opens the scope of this game. There's such a massive variety of factions, huge regions here that I love exploring, whether you're marching across the flatlands of Poland, trying to secure naval dominance in the Baltic, or defending forests and fortifications in Karelia. The stage is set for stories and strategies we've never quite been able to tell in Total War like this before. Things are playable, there is immense challenge here with resources, food, rebellions, technology, unit rosters. It's really great, and it just shows you how much more can be done here to create something seriously unique in the Total War modding scene. Now, the campaign gives Rise of Empires its backbone, its foundation. The battles are where everything comes alive. For most Total War fans, the real test of a mod isn't just the strategic layer, it's how the armies look, move, and fight once you zoom into the battlefield. And here, the mod team has gone far beyond a simple reskin or a tweak of stats. What they're building is a completely new experience on this engine, designed to capture the feel of early 18th century warfare in all its spectacle and brutality. The first thing that struck me is the battle maps themselves. A lot of these maps are not the generic battlefields that Shogun 2 comes with, where every fight feels like it takes place in some variant of a Japanese valley. Instead, the developers have handcrafted a growing library of battlefields based directly on the history of the period. We've got more than just flat stretch of land with some rivers dropped on top. There is marshy, restrictive arenas here where you have to carefully manage movement, consider the cover offered by terrain, and work with the very real limitations that Peter the Great and Charles XII faced when their armies actually clashed. This kind of attention to geography changes how battles feel. You're not just deploying your men in neat lines and waiting for musket fire to grind the enemy down. You're thinking about how to use ridges for cover, how to time a river crossing, or when to commit your reserves into the tight streets of a settlement. Every custom battlefield is designed with that immersion in mind, giving you the sense that you're fighting a real conflict with the same obstacles and opportunities that generals of this time had to face. And the armies themselves are equally impressive. This isn't Shogun 2 with a few muskets slapped on. Every unit has been built from the ground up to reflect the tactics and doctrines of the early 1700s. Line infantry, for instance, doesn't dash across the field like in vanilla Shogun 2. They advance slowly, deliberately, and once they're in position, they fight through coordinated volleys of musket fire. You'll see regiments carefully wheeling to bring more guns to bear, holding their fire until the enemy is close enough for maximum effect, and then unleashing devastating blasts that shred morale. This is not just the frantic melee fest that older Total War titles sometimes turn into. It's a methodical dance of positioning, firepower, and discipline. Cavalry too has been reworked to match the era. A charge of Swedish Karelian horse or Russian horsemen feels heavy and decisive, but also risky. Commit them too early and they'll be whittled down by disciplined musket fire. Use them too late and they may not be able to turn the tide in time. The balance here encourages you to think like a commander of the period. Cavalry are not blunt instruments, but precision tools, devastating when used correctly, disastrous when squandered. And then, of course, there's the atmosphere. One of the most impressive feats of Rise of Empires is how good these battles look and sound. The team has ported over light effects from Total War Attila, which gives the battlefield a much sharper, more dramatic look than base Shogun 2. Sunlight gleams off musket barrels, smoke hangs low over the field after a few volleys, and the ground feels alive with detail. When combined with custom models and historically accurate uniforms, it's absolutely breathtaking. Seeing this era era come to life on this game. Seeing Russian musketeers in their green coats holding formation against the blue uniformed Swedish Karelians isn't just a gameplay moment. This is a visual, immersive spectacle that could pass for a standalone real Total War release. And one of my favorite changes here, the unit cards have been redesigned to match the period in beautiful, beautiful detail. It adds so much to the immersion factor here. When you're managing your regiments, you're not looking at generic placeholders. You're commanding identifiable, authentic forces that look and feel right for the era. Of course, balance overall is still being fine-tuned, as it always should be, but it's way better than the first time I tried the battles here last year. Some units hit harder than they probably should. AI behavior is very much a work in progress, but much, much better. And even at this early stage, the battles in Rise of Empires are unlike anything else in Shogun 2 modding. They demand patience, encourage discipline, and reward players who take the time to master the slower, more deliberate rhythm of 18th century warfare. Essentially, the battles are already shaping up to be the heart of Rise of Empires, with custom maps, authentic units, and a visual style that pushes Shogun 2 to new heights. They deliver something fresh for veterans and newcomers alike. It's not just that the mod looks good, it feels and plays good too, and it captures the tactical drama of the 18th century in a way that very few mods have ever managed. Overall, Rise of Empires is much more, guys, than just another Total War mod I've made a video here. It's a landmark project that demonstrates what can be achieved when a dedicated team reimagines the possibilities of an entire game engine. By transplanting Shogun 2 into 18th century Europe, the modders are proving that even a decade-old game can become the foundation for something entirely new and absolutely jaw-dropping. For players like you, if you're interested, this is a chance to participate in something absolutely amazing. The closed beta is already live, and testers are welcome to join the project server to help shape its development. Whether you're interested in providing feedback, experimenting with the factions, or just getting a first look at one of the most ambitious mods in recent memory, now is the time to get involved. And for those with the right skills, the team is actively looking for contributors as well. So if you have experience in animation editing, naval modeling, or scripting, your work could help push this project even further. If you're interested, definitely go on the ModDB page and send a private message to the modder, or join the official Discord server to get started. Either way, I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. I really hope you like what you see here, you're interested in checking it out for yourself. I've dropped a link to the ModDB page below in the video description, so if you're interested, definitely go check it out. And if you do want to help with the mod's development, the Discord is below as well. Let me know what you think of Rise of Empires Total War in the comments section below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.